Hi, my name is Gabby and welcome back to my channel. In today's video, we are going to flip through the January pages of my Hobonichi Cousin. So let's go ahead and get started. I know I haven't written anything on this spread, but I kind of wanted to just tell you what I'm doing. Basically, I'm just gonna do an index for each month. I haven't gone through and done it for January because I wasn't sure on the color code, but I'm working on figuring that out, and then I will index my daily pages here. We'll start with December just because I haven't shown this before, and this is what my monthly pages will look like. It's very basic. I don't do any planning on this. This is just to record what happened. The Hobonichi Cousin for me is a creative journal. It's not a planner. I do all of my planning in my Hobonichi Weeks, which is this one, the bunnies. The horizontal layout really works well for me compared to the layout of the Cousin. So again, I just go in after the fact and record. I typically do this about once a week, usually on a Sunday when I have more free time, and just kind of notate what we did throughout the week, when we went out to eat or something big happened, things like that. This is what January looks like. Pretty much the same, very, very minimal deco. I just have a couple of vinyl stickers that I cut myself using my Cricut. So I use vinyl and cut shapes that are part of Cricut Design Space, so it's very simple. And create this, I always like holographic type vinyl. I think it's fun. So you'll see that throughout my spreads. The Hobonichi Cousin starts the week of January 1st. Because January 1st was a Sunday, we get the whole week prior, which was in 2022. I took advantage of that to make a 2022 in review page for this first weekly spread. I really liked how this turned out. I had spent about a week or two prior to this week kind of reflecting on 2022 and what were some of the big moments, and I then put that into all the spread. I'm not going to talk about everything that I used, just kind of some of the bigger things in my opinion. So this picture and this picture were printed using my pulley printer. I use the semi-transparent sticky paper to print them, and they're not great quality, but I actually really like the way it looks printed out. These right here are obviously sports teams. These are all the different sports and stuff that we went to here in Chicago, or while we lived in Chicago. This first year we went to a couple of Cubs games, White Sox games, Bulls game, Blackhawks, Bears game, and then we flew down to Charlotte for a President's Cup. So what I did is I just found an image of the logo on Google. Obviously I made them really small and just printed them using my regular printer on regular computer paper, and then I just glued it on here. Other than that, all of this, no, not this, these were all just Happy Planner sticker book stickers that are super old, that I've had for such a long time and have never used. I'm just finally getting around to using them. So this is how I have been using the weekly spreads in my Hobonichi Cousins for years. In 2019 and 2020 were the 2 years I used Hobonichi Cousins, and then obviously 2023. Because I don't work well with the vertical layout, I just don't have enough timed things to do that. I much prefer a horizontal layout. I decided to kind of break up my weeks into these sections. There are 6 sections. The top section is money. In January, I did a low buy. I was trying to do a no buy, but I did end up purchasing a couple of things. It was very minimal, so I'm okay with it. After having a super spendy 2022, I decided that it was time to, 1, cut back for financial reasons so I could save money and focus on investing, but 2, also just bringing less things into our apartment. we live in a small 1-bedroom apartment in Chicago, so there's not a ton of room, and I don't have a ton of things compared to when I had more room. But I want to make sure that I continue decluttering and just bringing less in and being more intentional with my money. So these dots indicate any day that I did not buy anything. This doesn't include dining out or entertainment or anything like that. This is simply like a shopping thing, like buying stationery items or clothes, shoes, purses, things like that. The second section is for YouTube, is for when I film or upload. The third section is TVs and movies, so I just make a note of what TV show or what movie we watched on what day. That's just so I can remember. So I can remember that on January 4th, we started a Mad Men rewatch. And yeah. I also keep track of audiobooks. It's what I started and when it finished. The next section is workouts, and I just literally write down the workout I did and what instructor. I have a Peloton, so it'd be Peloton rides, and then I do like Peloton yoga classes. I kind of fell off of the exercising habit late in 2022, so I'm trying to get back into that in 2023. So January I did a lot of them, but they were short 15-20 minute ones. In February I'm gonna bump that up and do longer ones like I was doing. And then the final section is for my rings, and this is for my Apple Watch rings. So the very top one, the red one, is the Move Calories ring. So I record the calories, or I guess they're active calories that it records. Green is like the exercise minutes. So it tracks how many minutes I exercise with my Peloton or a yoga class. Or even when I go on outdoor walks or walk to work, it'll like record that. I don't know. Probably because I'm like huffing and puffing, walking all over the city kind of fast. For me, at least. And then the last one is the stand hour, so how many hours you stood. And then in the very bottom, I make a note of my steps and the distance for the day. In the top up here, I kind of do just like big high level things. Like I had January 2nd off for New Year's Day, and it was my 8th anniversary with my boyfriend, payday, things like that. And this is how I've done it for years. This is how I did it for January, but in February I am changing things up. As you can see here, on the 15th of January, I spent $14.32 at Nordstrom, so I didn't add a sticker because I did buy something. This ended up being refunded to me, so I guess maybe kind of it's a no spend day. I don't know how to treat that, but the shoes were lost in the mail, so I got the money back. And the reason I had to do this and break my no-buy was because I had a promotional gift card with Nordstrom of $60 that expired on this day. And that was for some purchases that were made in December for Christmas. So I didn't want to lose $60, so I bought it, and yeah. And this is just a peek at February and how I'm doing my weeks now. So before we get into the daily pages, in the Turning the Page to a New Year spread, I did a vision board, and I do have a video of me putting this together. This was my first year doing the vision board, and I actually really liked how it turned out. I think it's really cute. In the monthly cover page, I decided to do like a highlights of the month so that at the end of the year, I can reference these pages and come up with my 2022 highlights. I haven't done it yet because I haven't decided like how I want to format it or what I want it to look like, if I want it to be like consistent each month or what. I do have my highlights written down on a post-it, but still need to work on this. I just haven't found the time to get down to it. Now with the daily pages, I am not going to go over everything. I just kind of wanted to take a few pages in the first few days and just kind of talk through how I do things. I don't do long form journaling. That has never worked out well for me because I never know what to write. It always just ends up being like a very detailed description of my day. And if something good happens or something bad happens, I'll expand on that. But I just don't need that much detailed information. I prefer to do it this way. So for example, on the 2nd of January, it was the Rose Bowl. So I wrote down the score. My team lost. I root for the Utah Utes. And they played Penn State. This is the 2nd year in a row in the Rose Bowl, the 2nd year in a row losing. It's heartbreaking. So I just kind of wrote the score and a little bit about that. The Utes posted a picture on their Instagram that I printed off in my pulley printer. This was also my 8th anniversary with my boyfriend, so I printed a picture of us and just kind of wrote about that. This is to signify that 8-year anniversary. This is how I've been using, this is the emoji I've been using in my YNAB to kind of save up for my anniversary with him. Down here I have a piece of tape that a bagel place that we go to by our apartment uses to like tape the receipt to the bag, and I really like it, so every single time I save it. Up here, this was the day there was a Bills game, and what's his name? So the safety, Damar Hamlin, collapsed on the field, and that was crazy to see. So I just kind of wrote about that and printed an Instagram post from Complex Sports just to be like, this is when that happened, because that's nuts. On this side over here, I wrote about a purse that I had ordered at the end of December, the Mulberry Mini Alexa. This was the day it was delivered. So I just printed a picture from the website. I think from the Nordstrom site is where I got it from, and wrote about that. There was a meme on Instagram that I came across that I found amusing, so I printed it and put it here. It says, going to work is so embarrassing, letting everyone know you need money. I definitely feel that. And then just like little blurbs about the day. There's really no rhyme or reason to how I journal or how I decorate. I don't really use kits or anything like that. It would be nice to use kits. I do see the benefits. Those things are cohesive, but I was just like, I want to use all my tapes. I haven't had a chance to use them in the 2 days I've been journaling, so I wanted to use them, so I used them. January 4th, it was either this day or the day before that I got this washi tape set from MT. I bought them on Jet Pens, and last time I checked they were sold out, but it's this washi tape set. They're like the slim ones. I really like them. I really love the colors, so I decided to swatch them out since there was nothing really going on that day. It was a standard work day. I did end up writing a tiny little thing about something that ended up happening that day, but that's it. On the 5th, I just printed a picture of an Instagram story that I posted because I really liked it, about Chicago looking Gotham-y because it was all gloomy and stuff. We wrote about a few different things throughout the day. Again, another tweet that I printed off using my pulley printer. This was Cardi B talking about grocery prices. If she's feeling it, so are the rest of us. And yeah, again, no rhyme or reason. It's just all over the place. Again, an Instagram post. This day on Saturday, we watched 2 movies, so I printed the covers of those movies, Glass Onion and Little Big League. It was a lovely time having a movie night. And yeah. These right here are from mailers that we got in the mail earlier in the week, and we ended up having Lou Malnati's Thin Crust delivered, so I thought it was fitting to put that there. So I just wanted to show that, like, I really have no plan going into a journaling spread. I just kind of let it come out. Whatever happens, happens. And so sometimes they don't really look super nice or cohesive, like I said, but I'm okay with that. I like it. If you notice here, these little stickers are just washi tape that I cut out. So it's this washi tape, and I went through and cut each flower. I do things like that often, and I don't know why, because it's a bit of a pain. These are those vinyl stickers that I cut out using my Cricut and vinyl, holographic vinyl, and I really love them. You'll see them all the time throughout my spreads. Now that I've kind of showed you a week's worth of pages and discussed a few of the elements from each page, I'm just going to flip through until something comes up that maybe I want to explain a little bit more. Which is the next page. So some days when I have nothing going on, I will go in and swatch something out. In this case, this Monday, I was a very standard Monday of working out, going to work, coming home, cooking dinner, watching TV. Very standard, nothing worth noting. The only thing is I had some downtime at work and had been thinking about my YNAB categories. YNAB is You Need a Budget. It's a budgeting software that I use. And so I planned out my category groups and categories on this page because that's kind of what I was thinking about most of the day. And there was really nothing other worth noting, so I did that here. Oh, of course, now that I'm just going to flip through, I have all these things to mention. On the 11th, I really had nothing worth noting, and I had a bunch of screenshots from New Yorker Mag, which is the New Yorker magazine. They're just these little cartoons that they post on their Instagram, and I had screenshotted a bunch that I kind of relate to. So I finally printed them off using my Pulley printer, but this is not the semi-transparent. This is the regular white paper that it comes with, and I cut them out and just glued them on here. On the 12th, I went to Raising Cane's, which was the highlight of my day. I love Raising Cane's. It was so good. It's a brand new location that just opened like this week. I think it opened on the 9th. But I couldn't wait any longer, so I went, saved a napkin, and just cut out the logo from the napkin to glue on here. Over here, I had nothing worth writing about. This happens a lot during the week, especially when I'm just going to work and coming home, and that's just what it is. But I swatched out some watercolors that my sister gave me for Christmas. These Paul Rubens, they're like the glitter metallic ones. I think they're glitter. What are they? I just think they were so cute, and I was so excited to finally test them out in my Hobonichi. The only one that I don't really like how it looks is this one, the white one. And this, I think, just happened because I swatched them out after I had written on this page. So. When I want a picture to have a little more color, rather than using my Pulley printer, which is so much easier to use, I mean, it's just this and it connects right to my phone, I will pull out my regular printer and print something out, usually on computer paper because I'm a little bit cheap. In this case, we were watching Mad Men and have been watching it since January 4th, like I showed you on my weeks. And I finally wanted to print a picture of the cast and glue it on here. So when you see color, that is just my regular printer. Over here, these are also prints that I printed with my printer, my regular printer. It's from an artist on Instagram. I had taken these screenshots of ones that I related to, and I printed these using clear matte sticker paper from Online Labels, and I love it so much. It's so thin. It really does make it feel like it's not gonna bulk up the Hobonichi. Yeah. So now that it's February and I'm no longer in my low buy, I bought myself some more of this clear matte paper to print things that I want in color rather than using computer paper. I will have to wait until I'm able to fill out a page though, because they are 8.5 by 11 and it's not the cheapest thing in the world. It's like, I think I paid like $30 for a set of 25 sheets. So I would want to fill up a whole page before I print it off. But I really love how this looks. A lot of times I take the receipts from restaurants that we go to and cut out like their logo up top to glue onto my pages, and that's what you see here. I've done it a few other times, but okay. And this is a page I'm excited about because this is something I plan to do every month. So on the left side over here, I really didn't have much going on that Monday and Tuesday. And because I wanted to do the screenshot dump, I decided that rather than trying to fill it with random stuff, I'm going to condense both days into one page. And even then, I didn't fill it up, like I didn't write much. So I also swatched out the zebra click art markers that my sister gifted me. These ones, I have the set of 36. I'm hoping to buy the pastel ones because I really do like them. So on one page alone, I was able to fit 2 days worth of journaling and then a little bit of a swatch. I did want to save this last page of the month to do a screenshot dump. This is inspired by the Book Tease blog on Instagram, and what she did is January moods and printed off a bunch of like tweets and like memes to put on a page so she could then delete those pictures from her phone. So I wanted to do the same thing. Like I've been, as you can see over here, like I've been trying to print things off and then delete them, like these, this little turtle over here. So I don't know. So I've been trying to print them out and apply them to a day that I think works or a day that I took the screenshot on. But I also wanted a place where I could go in and do the ones that didn't make the cut. And so that's what these are. This is a picture I found on Instagram, and I wish I wrote down what the Instagram account so I could make note of that, but I didn't. I just liked it. I'm so obsessed with Wednesday, like the show on Netflix, and I had a screenshot of this from another artist. Again, I didn't write it down. I'll do that in the future. A picture of my boyfriend and I. A little tweet that I thought was so cute. It says, "A little girl on my street has a very old pug with severe arthritis. Today I saw her gently strap him into a baby stroller and wait for the postie so they could chase after it, running and laughing as the pup barked like hell." I just thought that was the cutest thing. I used to have a pug, so it just speaks to me. Again, another Instagram artist that I follow. I love her little guy and her little captions, I guess. Born to vibe, forced to grind. Definitely relate to that. This is another one by the Holly Startup that I had on the other page. I had printed off a few. Same artist. I really like her style and just her work, so I've printed off a few. As you can tell, this one didn't make it on the other page, so it's over here. I thought this picture was super cute. It reminded me of a painting that my mom had for me, my sister, and her, kind of like that. Another meme tweet thing, and then a picture of the cast of Atlanta. So there's Darius, Paperboy, Ern, and Van, and I really love the show, and I'm sad it's over, and I thought they deserved a space in my book. So I really like this picture of them, so that's why I did that one. So these are just screenshots that would just be on my phone forever, never see the light of day. They would just stay there and I would never look at them. So I decided to go through, find the ones that I liked, print them off, and delete them. So these are no longer on my phone, with the exception of the one of my boyfriend and I. And I think I'm going to continue to do this month after month. I think it's a nice way to end the month. But that's it. I mean, after that brings us to February. So you'll see that in the next flip through. Thank you so much for joining me in today's video. If you haven't done so already, make sure you give this video a thumbs up and make sure you subscribe. Bye.